All right, so welcome aboard to the final Thursday thoughts of the season. It is 11/30, 2023, and I'm so excited to be here with you tonight. Before I introduce myself and the talent that is on tonight, I want to first say thank you, of course, to SCAMLE for their continued support of Thursday Thoughts. It's because of them that these are brought to you every Thursday on various topics. We've been all over the place this season talking about all kinds of things. And so very excited that we're able to bring you new, innovative, quality content that you can actually use in a format that you can actually pay attention to on Thursday after you've worked all day. And so thank you again to SCAMLE for their continued support. Also want to remind you that we are currently accepting registrations for the conference coming up in 2024. And hey, you landed in the right place tonight because we're going to be previewing some of the latest, greatest, awesomest stuff that is going to be taking place in 2024, actually just a couple months away now. So please check us out at www.scamle.org. And also check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All right, so we will get started here with our Thursday thoughts. This is a preview of Scamly 2024. So first of all, for those of you who don't know, my name is Sarah Evanson Atkinson, and I'm the Professional Learning Director for SCAMLE. But like you, I have a real job. So I'm the instructional coach in Greenville County Schools at Ralph Chandler Middle School, and I am an ELA teacher of more than 20 years. But like you, I wear tons of hats, right? Wife, mom, friend. And so I get it. We get it here at SCAMLE. We are very concerned with the fact that, look, this is not, this is our life. This is our passion. And we love education, certainly. And so we bring you all the best that we can possibly find. Our executive director, Dr. David McDonald, is on the call tonight. So please make him feel welcome. Dr. McDonald, welcome aboard.
Hey, thank you, Sarah. Thanks. I'm so glad to be here for us to be able to kick off the conference. It's always our highlight of the year, so looking forward to talking with you about the conference tonight.
Sweet. Woohoo. All right. So he's going to have an opportunity, I'm sure, to jump on and chat here as we go, because we're going to cover a whole lot of ground in a very short period of time. Also, Jeff Jenkins is on the call tonight, our board president. Welcome aboard, Mr. Jenkins.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's good to be here with everybody for our final Thursday thought. SCAMLE is proud to sponsor these and provide content for memberships across the state in and outside of the conference window. So we're excited to be able to do this with ongoing professional development. I want to take this opportunity to thank Sarah Atkinson for her tremendous work in organizing and quite frankly, the sacrifice of time from her family and kids to be here each Thursday and host these sessions to help all of us improve our practice, which is kind of the thing we're super passionate about, and that's why we're here. So thank you, Sarah, for all your hard work.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Jenkins. Kind words. I don't know. He must want something, guys. I don't trust it. Not for a second. All right. So here we go. Before we begin our conversation this evening, I want you to introduce yourself in the chat, please. Who are you? Where are you from? And what is your role at work? So go ahead again. Who are you? Where are you from? And what is your role at work? Go ahead and drop that in the chat for us. All right, so welcome, Miss Gilliard. She is, let's see, Miss Gilliard, Richland 1, Human Resources Director. Awesome, welcome aboard, happy you're here. Clayton is principal at Dutchman Creek Middle School, home of the Gators, and he has been working very hard tonight. They had an art thing and a band thing, okay, right, we know how that goes, right? Back to back. Emily Enlow lives in Charleston and works in Dorchester School District 2, and she's a dance educator at Oakbrook Middle School. Dancing, not something that I can do. Our Christmas party is coming up soon, and someone said, well, there's going to be a DJ, Sarah, you can't miss it. And I said, really? Call me Elaine. You don't want me out there. I don't care how good the DJ is. You don't want me out there. You don't. If you've ever hung out with me and a DJ, it's not a good mix. Dr. Tammy Small is with us tonight. Tammy is coordinator for special projects and HR in her school district. Let's see. I'm Sarah. Right, we already said I'm Sarah. I'm from Greenville, and I am an instructional coach. All right, so Kanisha Fletcher is here with us tonight. Awesome, Kanisha, welcome. From Hand Middle School in Columbia, 7th grade math teacher and former instructional coach for 16 years. Wow, 16 years. That's right. We've talked about this before, Kanisha, haven't we? That wow. I mean, like you get a t-shirt or something, a pin, a t-shirt. I don't know what you get. Patrice is from Hand Middle School in Richland 1, and she is the principal. Luke, Robert Anderson Middle ELA teacher. Welcome aboard, Luke. And P. Sloan Joseph, hello, from Greenville County Schools, instructional coach at Hughes Academy. Blake Pratt, good evening. He said he's Blake Pratt. He says good evening. It's very serious, right? Good evening. Blake Pratt from Greer, an academic specialist, 4th through 8th math for Greenville County Schools and proud co-director of Schools to Watch. Now, super exciting to have all of you here. And here's what I want to say. It is very important to us at SCAMLE that this is something we pride ourselves on, in knowing who you are and what you need. All of this content that we deliver to you, whether it be in conference, in webinar, on a podcast, is all carefully tailored to what actual real human beings, people actually need. And that is what makes us different than other organizations, frankly, because we have folks who are in the trenches. We're working in real time. We're working in the business right now. So we get it. Please help me welcome Dr. Tammy Small, conference chair, to the call. Welcome, Tammy.
Hello.
We're happy you're here with us tonight. We're ready for you to spill the tea. Like, we want you to dish what's going to go on at conference, girl. Well, I can't wait.
I was afraid I was going to be late. I was driving and the traffic was stinking.
Well, and I want to point out too that I'm very, I do my research. You guys know I do my homework. And Tammy's picture is from this morning's post, because she posts every morning on the way to work. And so that picture is about as recent, y'all. It's about as recent as it gets. This is from this morning's post, where she will post, she does a little pick me up in the morning and she'll tell you how she's feeling, and then she checks on you. That's part of my self-care. I mean, I'm just telling you, I really appreciate Tammy's post on Facebook. All right, so as a conference attendee, who can you expect to meet during your time at conference? So that's the question we're thinking about now. So on Friday, our keynote speaker is Deidre Stafford. Deidre Stafford will be with us on Friday. And I want you to take a look at her book, Teaching Kids to Thrive. And we're going to take a look for just a moment at the foreword from the book. And I'm going to read to you, so sit back and relax, and here we go. All right, so it reads, the foreword: a hinge is the primary mechanism used to swing a door open. Absent a hinge, a door remains a wall, blocking access to its other side. The Latin root of cardinal in cardinal virtues from Plato's Republic is hinge. Plato's listed virtues then are the hinge necessary for passage. Plato's virtues include prudence, the capacity to judge which decisions and actions to employ given the factors of any situation, or to determine whether or not something is appropriate or inappropriate. Justice, fairness, temperance, self-control, discretion, and moderation when warranted, and courage, fortitude, perseverance, and the ability to confront personal fears. These virtues have stood the test of time, finding their way into religions, civic duties, employee evaluation criteria, and our cultural narratives. To this day, we lift up individuals who exemplify these virtues as our heroes, for we are sure these are the keys to personal success. 2,000 years later, Debbie Silver and Deidre Stafford identify the virtues of executive function, self-efficacy, self-regulation, perseverance, resilience, focus, integrity, and gratitude as critical elements to student maturation and success. They've tapped into the virtues river flowing through civilizations across time. So Deidre Stafford will be with us on Friday. Dr. McDonald, maybe you can speak to this for just a second. What does Friday look like for attendees, and how does this all kind of fit together, especially with what Deidre Stafford has to offer? Because she has a very unique I mean, this is a very unique approach to some things, looking at these ideas of executive functioning.
Yeah, she really does, Sarah. You couldn't have picked a better piece to talk about with Deidre. She's a fantastic speaker. If anyone has ever heard her speak before, she's just a really well-rounded speaker. So I think folks are really going to love her message and her story. She has a very, very incredible story and just a really, really neat perspective on what we do as educators. So on Friday, of course, those are really more pre-conference kinds of sessions. So the way we structure our Friday sessions, those are designed for folks like administrators, instructional coaches, and really some specialized areas. So for people who are multilingual teachers, folks who are really into AI, we've got some sessions that are going to be focused on that area this year. Really looking at some very specialized areas, school counseling, media specialists, school librarians. So really looking at some of those areas. The Friday sessions typically are to launch the conference. So we recognize that a lot of times teachers can't be as accessible. They can't get away as quickly as other folks in the building. So that's why we structure those sessions the way we do on Friday. And then after we do those 3 sessions, we end up kicking off the entire conference with Deidre Stafford. And Deidre is going to be a great way to really set the tone and the energy for the conference and really launch us out, I think, into a great weekend of learning and really getting that deeper thinking around how do we get folks focused? How do we keep people moving the right direction? How do we build that capacity in others? And how do we really support each other to get the job done?
Absolutely. And I can't wait. I want to encourage you, if you can, if you're not able to get in on Friday to see some of the, the pre-conference sessions, I really do want to encourage you to try to make it in to see Deidre, because this idea of executive function and building this idea of self-efficacy, we talk about it all the time within the context of, we want to build teacher efficacy, professional efficacy, teachers' personal efficacy. But here's the reality. The reality is that there are ways where we can build that into for our students. We can teach them how to have a self-efficacy and better self-regulation and perseverance and resilience and focus and integrity and gratitude. Like, they are young, evolving humans. And so that is very powerful part of her message. And I would love if you can somehow work it out to get in to see Deidre, because that's going to be someone you won't want to miss. Now, in case you can't be there on Friday to see Deidre, she's going to be with us on Saturday. Is that right, Tammy?
Yes, she'll be doing a lunch session. She is scheduled for one of the lunch sessions. You get to choose which one you go to because you're all adults. So everyone gets to pick what they want to do and pick the track they want to take. And so on Saturday, we have Deidre and a few other wonderful speakers during our lunchtime.
Awesome. So in case you can't see her on Friday because we just can't get in time, she will have an offering at lunchtime that will be slightly extended at around lunchtime as well. So that brings us now to Saturday. So on Friday night, folks can start getting their materials at what time, Mr. Jenkins? Do you remember that? Do you remember what time they can start picking up materials? Or maybe Dr. McDonald will know. I don't know. If he doesn't unmute, Dr. McDonald,
That's
then
okay.
I just
You
say
put Mr. Jenkins on the spot.
I'm sorry, I
Come
didn't
on,
mean
Sarah.
to.
You put him on the
I'm
spot
sorry.
there.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
So Sarah, registration will begin at 5:30,
Okay.
and we do that because we want folks to attend the general session, obviously,
Right.
with Deidre Stafford. That also gives folks time to travel in. We know a lot of folks will be traveling after work, and we want them to come in and see the first 3 sessions. There's some great presenters on Friday, so let me just say that one more time again. There are some great presenters on Friday, so please try to come early if you can. And then be there for Deidre's kickoff. 5:30, we will open the doors for registration to get your bag and all your fun stuff and have a chance to see the vendors and all of those things as well.
Awesome.
Yeah,
so Friday night, sorry, go ahead, Dr. Small.
And Friday night is lots of fun. So you get to come in, check out the vendor hall, see all our sponsors, get free goodies, because all teachers love goodies and they're free. So you come and get that. We have a little mini bar set up. You can have a drink, hang out, check everyone out, do some dancing. And we have a trivia night that we're going to be hosting. So someone will be joining us and doing some trivia if you want to do that. And we're working on some other fun activities, but some have to be a surprise because we're still working on them. But I will say that today, as of today, I did just book the paint night. So we will have a paint night opportunity.
Sweet.
So anyone can register for that. It's going to be awesome. And I did tell her our theme. So she is going to cater our picture towards that. So I'm super excited.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So Friday night is the kickoff. Definitely, if you can make it in time to see Deidre, great. If not, the doors open to get your materials at 5:30, and then everything really kicks off on Saturday morning, first
Hey,
thing with
Sarah,
our
can I
big
add one
session.
thing? Can I add one
Absolutely.
quick thing about Friday?
Please. Yes, please.
For years we've heard teachers say, "Hey, look, we get to town on Friday. We're tired. We
Yes.
just want to spend time, with each other and talking." And so that's really what Tammy and the conference team have tried to do this year is create some events that would allow for that. So we've got this painting activity. We've got some other things that we're hoping to launch, and there's a cash bar. So come have a drink, talk, laugh, enjoy each other's company. That's really what we want that to be about, and really what we want people to do. So we're hoping that folks will try their best to get there, but also not rush. It is Myrtle Beach. For some folks, it takes a few hours. And traffic, we know 501 is never predictable. So come on and just enjoy some time with each other and fellowship and relax. We have got to learn to relax again in this business. And so that's really what we've tried to structure some of the events of the weekend about.
Well, and Dr. McDonald, I'm really glad actually that you brought that up because the back half of the presentation, I went all out in my research, y'all, for this session tonight. And so I've got all the best spots where you can call tomorrow and you can make some reservations for your team, and you can figure out some fun things for you all to do in Myrtle Beach while you're there. You don't want to miss a thing. So Saturday morning, we kick off bright and early. So you're gonna have to get up early because it's like you have to pretend you're still at school because this is like we're working here, right? But you get to experience our Saturday keynote, who is Houston Kraft, the co-founder of Character Strong. So Houston will be with us. And so he has several texts, but the one I pulled from tonight is called Deep Kindness. And notice it says there, a revolutionary guide for the way we think, talk, and act in kindness. And what I want you to do, so what I did was I pulled a little bit of, I actually pulled an audio file of him reading from a little piece from his first chapter of the book from Audible. So I want you to listen along with me. And what you have on the screen here is actually just a quick summary. But just take a listen with me.
It wasn't long before Helga got emotional. She had hair that curled skyward and a smile that took in her whole face. She had green eyes that looked like they had their own gardens growing in them. She was wearing a cozy neck pillow that, based on all the evidence I'd gathered, didn't seem like it was going to be getting much use. If you have the whole picture in your head, now picture her weeping. Through her tears, she shared fervently that there is nothing more important in the world than kindness. We probably all believe this sentiment on some level, but to Helga, it was a mantra rooted in pain. She explained that the last time she had flown was 3 years ago. She had scrambled to an airport because she was woken up by a phone call from her dad's doctor. He told her to get to Arizona as quickly as possible because your dad's not doing very well. Just as her plane was about to depart to Phoenix, the doctor called to inform her that her dad had passed away. For the 3-hour plane ride, she sat in stunned silence, surrounded by strangers. When she arrived at the airport in Arizona, she stumbled to the nearest wall, crumpled to the ground, and wept. And here's the part I'll never forget about Helga's story. For 2 hours, she sat and cried in the airport while nearly 3,000 people walked by. Not a single person stopped to help. Chapter 1. Kindness isn't normal. I spend a lot of time thinking about the importance of kindness in a world seemingly too busy for it. Kindness is one of these essential things that we collectively say is good, but we collectively aren't very good at. Why? Why are we so bad at something we believe in? Why is it that we can so universally agree on the value of something and not be very skilled at it? How can Helga sit in pain alone in an airport and have 3,000 people bypass her suffering? This book, in many ways, is for Helga. Almost every day I think or talk about her story. In some ways, it's because I know that at any given moment, I could live her story. I'm acutely aware that none of us are immune from adversity. We will all, at some point along the way, be desperate for a moment of human kindness and connection.
So that was very powerful for me, listening to him. And I've had the honor of reading the text itself, and he talks a great deal about Helga in the book. And I love the idea that the question that always comes to mind when I was reading the text was, why is it that we talk all the time about kindness? Be kind. We tell students, be kind to one another, be kind to each other, be kind to your teachers, show kindness, but we're not very good at it. And so why is it that, why do we have to, and it's like anything else, guys, we have to practice it. We have to be intentional about our practice, about being kind. I wanted to share that little excerpt with you, but Saturday is going to kick off. And again, and I think, Tammy, you put something in the chat that really bears repeating, and I think is super powerful. Go ahead and repeat that and talk us through some of the process that you all used when you were putting together and building out the plan for Saturday, because Saturday is like the big day.
So we really wanted to focus on giving everyone experiences this year so that everyone can catch the wave and catch the wave of energy that we have at the conference. Every year conference is fun and exciting, but we really wanted to focus on how can we make it an experience and not just give people things, but let them experience a new energy and be able to renew or to reignite their spark, whatever needs to happen for them. And so that's what we focused on when we were building out Saturday. We looked at making sure we have Brett, who works on the presenters with us, and he is making sure that we have something in each session for all the different kinds of people that will want to attend, and making sure that at lunchtime there are choices for people to go to different sessions. We're featuring some special presenters. We have lots of sponsors this year, so I'm really excited about that. They're coming to share about their products and to give lots of goodies to everybody. So I think that Saturday is going to be amazing. And don't forget that we are getting a special gift on Saturday that I won't share yet because I don't know that we're supposed to tell you because it's a surprise, but we will be giving every attendee a surprise from one of our wonderful keynotes.
I think we should tell them. What do you think? I
Oh.
think we should show them.
I told you.
I think we should tell them.
David, the reason I invited Tammy onto the call tonight is because she's a terrible secret keeper. So I can't wait for her to spill the tea. Like, let's go. Let's go.
But it's okay though.
Yeah.
It's okay. This is
I do. I love to share all the secrets.
I know.
But
I love it. It's so great.
This is a good secret because it may encourage people to go. He's
Okay.
talking about the experience piece. And
all right, so spill it, Tammy. Spill it. What's the surprise?
All right, so everyone that attends,
so you're going to get to hear Houston Craft on Saturday, and I think when you hear him speak, he is just so moving. And he used a technique when I heard him speak 2 years ago that I still use now, and every time I do it, it's like, man, that really worked. And so, so it's really great. But Houston, as you shared, has several books. And what's really cool is every attendee, so when we talk about experiences, every attendee at the conference is going to get an experience that will last the next 52 weeks because everybody gets a copy of Houston's, and I have my green screen on, so you're not going to be able to see it. Everybody's going to get a copy of Houston Craft's brand new book, which is a 52-week journal for being kind. It's a kindness journal. And everybody's going to get a copy of this that attends the conference this year, free of charge. And Houston has actually agreed to autograph those. So you can even get them signed by Houston while you're at the conference. But the only way to get one free of charge is to attend the conference. So hopefully folks who watch this back will register. Lots of people from their school, but everybody gets one of those for free this year. So bring extra money for the other two keynotes books. They both have books as well, but everybody's going to get a free copy of Houston Crafts.
Oh, that's so exciting. Yeah,
I'm
that's so
super
exciting.
I am super excited about that because I think it's awesome that teachers get to come and get a free book because you know teachers love free books.
Yep.
And it's a journal. So it's not just about reading, it's about sharing and reflecting for yourself. And you can use it as your new gratitude journal. So that would be awesome because
Yeah.
the more gratitude you show, like Deidre is talking about also, the
Yep.
more gratitude you show, the more comes back to you.
Absolutely. So after we finish, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and put my feet up after I finish this next segment. And then because we also have on the call tonight some presenters who are on the call who are going to share with you and give you a quick preview of what they're going to be presenting on Saturday. So Saturday is full of really awesomely selected, finely tailored sessions just for you. So remember we started this and I said, who are you? Where are you from? What's your role? Guess what? We know. We know. And when we pick our sessions, we pick them with you in mind so that we can be sure that we're delivering timely, effective, appropriate content directly to you when you need it most. So that's one of the things that makes our organization really unique. So in a minute, we're going to preview some of that stuff that's coming up. But I want to talk real quickly, guys, about Sunday. I want to hit Sunday real quick. So Sunday keynote in the morning, right, is Robert Jackson. Robert Jackson. Now, if you remember back in memory banks when we were virtual that year, Robert was with us on our virtual conference, but he is going to be live and in person with us in Myrtle Beach on Sunday, and he is going to take us out of the conference. So you'll notice there his book, Becoming the Educator They Need. There are several selections. He has a new book out as well. And so those will be available for purchase, and he is happy to he's happy to autograph those books for us as well. I want you to get just a little taste though of his energy. It is exquisite. So if you take a look with me real quick, and we'll just take a quick watch.
There are several ways to motivate students, especially our young men. You can motivate them more with your words. Kids need to hear something positive about them every day. And some of you saying, well, why do they need to hear something positive every day? Because you don't know what kids are coming in with. So we need to be feeding positive words to our kids on a daily basis. And you say, well, what can we say to them? Say you matter. You are somebody. You will be successful. You are smart. I believe in you. Those words build kids up, and we need to do a better job of building our kids up, telling kids that they matter, they are somebody, they will be successful on a daily basis. It helps build their character.
You know, I've heard a lot, Tammy. I'm developing a through line, and what I'm hearing is I'm hearing a lot of gratitude. Let's speak it into the world. Let's bring positivity. Let's make sure that we're extending our care to others around us. And gosh, that just makes me feel so good. That just makes me feel so good.
I can't wait.
We're doing a quick pause. Drop your ideas in the chat. What's one question that comes to mind that you'd like to ask of one of the keynote speakers? Kanisha says, how to say positive statements daily to a group of challenging boys and how to make it sound authentic. Excellent question, Kanisha. And by the way, anybody who drops a question into the chat, you can expect that what I will do is I'll make a note and I'll definitely pass those on to our keynotes. We have one of the great things about SCAMLE is that we have relationship with our keynotes, and so we are able to reach out to them. I speak with them on the regular and let them know, and as it gets closer, we talk about, well, this is kind of a need that we've seen emerge. So absolutely, and as things come up and you think of different questions, please be sure to drop them to us in an email or in the chat here tonight, however it might be, and we'll definitely pass it along to our talent, for sure. So as a conference attendee, what can you expect to learn? What can you expect to learn as a conference attendee? So I want to go ahead and turn it over. We are lucky enough to, we're not taking a quick stop yet, because what we're going to do is we're going to take a listen and do a quick preview of some of our presenters that are going to be on Saturday, on Sunday, and what kinds of topics are they going to be talking about? What can folks who are joining us at conference, what can they expect to learn and what kind of, what kinds of things, sessions are they going to be looking at? So Tammy, what kinds of things can they expect to learn? And I'm going to go ahead and let you introduce the talent here tonight.
All right, so I'm very excited that we have people that are going to be sharing on each day, I believe. I think we have someone from each day. So I'm going to start with, I think Miss Gilliard is still on here, and she has a wonderful story because she used to be a teacher, then she was a librarian, and she has moved up into being a principal and came all the way through, and she's in the district now in human resources. But I will say that she has an amazing presentation. I have seen it done before, and I'm super excited for her to be coming to talk about generations and how we all learn differently. So I think she's still
I'm
on.
here.
Let's see.
I'm here.
Oh, good. She's
Yes,
still at
I'm here.
work.
With all that fun and excitement, I just had to come back to see what was going to happen
Oh, right,
next.
because you never know, right?
Because
It's
you
the
never
last minute.
know,
Absolutely. Yes.
So I'm really excited. I'm Kwame Gilliard. I have to say my heart is middle school. I was a middle school principal for 7 years. And so I'm really, really excited. And this was always my favorite conference. So I'm really excited to be able to present this year. I do work in human resources. And so my topic will focus on the adults in the building and even the adults outside the building to include the parents and our stakeholders. And we'll be talking about the generations in the workplace. And many of you probably have seen the television show Abbott Elementary. And you see how those teachers and the principal, how they all interact with each other and have different perspectives. And a lot of that is related to the generation to which they are a member of. And so we'll talk about the baby boomers and the Generation X and millennials and Generation Z. So there are 4 generations currently in our workplace, and they have different ways of communicating and different outlooks on life and different relationships with authority. And so this session will be geared toward it'll be for leaders, but it'll be for teachers as well, because as you know, we all have to work together. And so we'll talk about some things, and I think some people will have some aha moments about, that's why my principal does that. Or that's why that teacher does that. And so we'll talk about a lot about communication style. We'll talk about what feedback and evaluation looks like, how it's given, how it's received. And we'll talk about some implications for retention as well as recruitment. So I think this will be a great session. So I'm just looking forward to just spending time with middle school people again.
Oh, that's awesome. That sounds like really interesting topics, Tammy. And Ms. Gilliard, I'm excited to hear about that, because that's clearly the relationship between understanding and retention is an obvious connection. We want people to stay, and we want them to be happy and successful and fulfilled and all the things. So awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Who else do we have on the call, Tammy? Thank you, Ms. Gilliard, for stopping in.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right, so we also have Sloan Joseph, who has come a few times now to our sessions, and I'm so excited to have her come back every year because she is always a big hit and she has so much to teach us. So I love hearing from her. So we have Sloan, and she is presenting 2 sessions. I think one on, and now I'm just trying to memorize what I got here from memory power. So I know she's on Saturday, and I think she's either on Friday or Sunday, but we're really excited to have her, and she is always a guest and everyone loves her. So Sloan, what are you going to bring us this year? Sorry about my dogs.
That's okay. Thank y'all for always bringing me back. I appreciate it. So one of the sessions that I have is called 8 Exit Tickets to Elevate Teaching and Learning. So it's really talking about the different types of exit tickets. Sometimes it's an assessment of student knowledge, and sometimes it's self-reflection. And so, kind of mixing it up and allowing students to kind of take responsibility for what they've learned and give them something to look forward to by introducing that the exit ticket really at the beginning. And then also just how exit tickets are like, just talking about the classroom environment. You're in a relationship and talking about having a functional relationship with your students. And so people always are like, well, how do exit tickets relate to relationships? Well, I can connect anything to SEL. Trust me, it's the root of everything I do. But in a relationship, sometimes when you have a disagreement, or even when you have an agreement, you have to bring things to a close. Closure is what people really need in relationships, whether it's a good relationship or not so good relationship. And so we're thinking about those learning environments as a really good relationship. And every day you want to bring about closure with the purpose of being able to give them a fresh start the next day. And so the fresh start next day means that you know what they need, a little push, and what they need a little praise on. So if they're doing really good, you can praise them, start off classroom with the praise, but then also have a realistic view about the push that you need. But you have to have good exit tickets to know how you're going to start your classroom the next day. And then those assessments along the way help to lower anxiety. So bringing that piece in, how exit tickets help students to be more productive and creates less anxiety, because those formative assessments along the way help them to feel really good about when it's time for a summative. And then the other session that I'm doing is 10 tech tools for students with specialized learning needs. So that's going to focus on students who have IEPs, that have individual language acquisition plans, and students that have 504s. And since we're all using technology anyway, how can we use the tech tools that we're using in order to make sure that we are servicing those students? And so thinking about something as simple as, one of the strategies I'll talk about is visual cues and how important that is for students with specialized learning needs. So using flaticon.com, using AutoDraw, using the Noun Project to make connections, and again, giving kids an opportunity to own their learning. So if you have text, have them find some images that they can either draw themselves or find to insert into their notes in order to make those connections through visual cues. And so both sessions are all about empowering students to take ownership and to reflect so that they can be the best that they can be, and that all the pressure is not on the teacher, but it's a shared responsibility, because we want to have functional educational relationships with our students.
Awesome. Awesome.
We also have Blake Pratt, and he is going to be presenting for us. He also has some information from a friend of ours who he has given us lots of sessions, and I'm super excited to see them. So Blake is going to share about Shane Peak's sessions also, which I can't wait to hear about, because there are some really cool ones in there. And then I'll also share about another presenter after.
Thanks, Dr. Smalls, and thanks, Sarah. I'll tell you, that's the first time I think I've been referred to as talent in my lifetime, so I appreciate that. But no, I'm really privileged to present with Mr. Shane Peak. He's a previous guest here on the Thursday Thoughts.
He is. Shane, you'll remember Shane from our talk about AI for sure.
That's right. Yep. So he and I will be presenting about school culture, 15 ways to sort of boost morale in schools. We did something similar last year. It was well attended, so we're excited to bring some of those ideas back. And really 15 is a little bit misleading, because we're looking at each of those 15 ideas through two different lenses, one from a classroom teacher perspective and one from a school leader perspective. So like, for example, I'll put myself on the spot, like a Zenden, right? Like, so a classroom teacher might have a little spot in the classroom for a student to go take a little break, take a few deep breaths before they can refocus on the task at hand. And then a school leader might provide a similar space for the staff to go maybe during their prep hour to take a break and have a soda or something like that. So for each of those 15 ideas, like I said, it's kind of a 2-track agenda. We'll be sharing ideas from 2 different perspectives. So I'm pumped to share that time with Shane. And then, yes, Shane has a couple other sessions that I just wanted to mention while I've got the microphone here. One of his is entitled Growing Teachers and Tomatoes. So he's got like a clever metaphor about how coaching teachers is similar to a gardener trying to cultivate some crops, maybe in the backyard around the farm. That labor of love sometimes there's some discouragement along the way, but stick with it. Perseverance and determination can get some great results in the end. So Shane will be presenting on that one. And then also, like Dr. McDonald, and we've mentioned earlier, the AI, such a hot topic in education today. So he's got another full session about AI for the classroom teachers. And it's not really about like persuading educators to be proponents of AI, but really just catching them up to speed on what's new and cutting edge in the field. So Shane's an absolute expert on that topic. So I'm sure that one will be well attended as well. And then last but not least for Shane Peak, he's doing, I think it's an innovation station about Canva. So some advanced Canva techniques for not for beginners, but for those that are really ready to take it to the next level. So Shane's going to have a busy weekend. I'm privileged to join him for one of his, I think 4 sessions. But he's a great resource, and hopefully we'll have a nice turnout at our session as well.
Awesome. Those all sound so exciting. I mean, it's going to be like old friends getting together, talking shop. I can't wait.
That's right. Thank you.
I will say one other thing that, since Blake brought it up, we have a new experience this year with the innovation centers, and where guests can come in. They'll be rotating through every 20 minutes. There's 2 sessions each 20 minutes, and they are actual demonstrations or active learning stations. So I'm really excited that it's not going to be a sit and get. Some people like to move around, and some like to see, like, let me see what it looks like and let me try that out. And so I'm super excited that we have people who are coming to demo ideas for use in the classroom and tools that they use. And then even our own Sarah is going to be in a innovation center, and I'm super excited about her presentations this weekend. So Sarah, please tell us all about your awesome sessions, because you're always a game changer for English teachers.
Game changers for English teachers, absolutely. Well, we're going to be talking about feedback and how to give appropriate feedback so that students actually, because we want our feedback to lead to change in student behavior, right? And so we're going to talk about how to package it and how to deliver it in a way that can actually have that happen for our students. And then I'm willing to bet that there are a few people in the seats that would be that will be able to translate those skills and use them even in a super ninja way with their colleagues, because we want feedback leads to changes in behavior. And so we're going to take a look at feedback. Also, I am honored to present with Mr. Jenkins as well, and he and I are going to be presenting on our Adventure Day, I believe, right? Or our club time. Mr. Jenkins, do you remember? I think it's the iteration of the club time, right?
Yeah, I think we're going to be looking at the advisory model holistically. So we know that our advisory programs are kind of a cornerstone to the middle school concept and the framework of middle school. There's a lot of approaches to that. So we've tried to sort of layer in both structure and the ability to break that structure when needed, so that teachers and students can have sort of the things they need when they need it. So we'll be looking at how we have found ways to be super responsive with our PLCs with regards to data analysis, and when we find that we need to remediate in some ways, even if it's just a quick mini lesson, and how we can kind of flex into our advisory rotations to do that. And we also have the incorporation of our SEL lessons inside this program, as well as just sort of some good old-fashioned conferencing with students. A lot of times it's just that trusted adult leaning into a kid that makes all the difference. We kind of heard Robert Jackson speak to that. He'll do that much more eloquently than we will, but it's kind of getting at some similar concepts, and this provides some space at which we could do what Robert Jackson is going to be asking us to do in a way that is meaningful and structured. So you'll leave that session with some ideas on how to kind of bring all of those sort of like what sometimes can feel like competing ideas underneath sort of a framework of how to put it in motion over the course of 9 weeks of a semester of a year. And then some really specific tools on how to sort of jumpstart some of these conversations, right? Because one of the things that we obviously are finding is that we talk a lot of times in platitudes, build relationships, but how do you really specifically go about doing that? Like, what are the specific moves you might make? And so in this case, talk to the children kind of can sometimes be underestimated in terms of what does that really mean and what does that look like. So you'll leave with some tools around, if I want to have a specific academic conversation around NHI's data or just, that, here's some sentence starters. Here's some ways you can guide that conversation that can help it feel a little bit more authentic until it becomes, part of a teacher's practice. And so hopefully that'll be useful for all teachers, but obviously some of those tools might even be really helpful for some of our alt certified teachers that maybe didn't get some of that stuff modeled for them. And so a little bit of something for everybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm super excited about the session lineup. I think, Tammy, there's something for everyone in the session lineup.
I do.
Yeah.
And I will say, so another thing that is really big is games, gaming. And so we have Mike Adams, who's going to present at the conference also. And he is going to talk about how we can use games in the classroom, not just Kahoot, but really developing your own games from your content and how you can use new technology to be able to interact with your students in fun ways and get them to learn through gaming. So I really like that idea because everybody loves gaming, and that's such a big, huge topic in education, getting them engaged and keeping their attention. Oh, there's my dogs again.
All right. So Saturday is going to be jam-packed. We have sessions available to you on Sunday morning as well. So we'll have some more focus sessions on Sunday morning that will get you started and ready to go for the final Sunday session, whole group sessions. So those, of course, will happen as breakout sessions in the morning, and then we'll move to our final session on Sunday. Now, one of the things that Dr. McDonald mentioned at the very beginning of this call was it's really important to us that we are building our teams. The stronger teams that we have, the stronger our teams are, the stronger they will be able to serve students, the better they will be able to serve students, and also the likelihood that they will want to stay together is also greatly increased. And so team building is very important when you visit Myrtle Beach. So I pulled some names of some locations of some places that you might want to check out. Riptides is great. The food's not bad. And the atmosphere is pretty fun. The Sea Captain's House is a staple. Most of these places you're going to want to call ahead and make a reservation if you have a large group that's going. Dirty Don's is really good if you're looking for oysters. They have other food too, but the oysters are very good. Tupelo Honey is actually a chain. We have them up here in the upstate too, but Tupelo Honey is really good. And there's some Southern comfort food, but like in a new and different way that you didn't imagine. I think last year a group of us ate at Hard Rock Cafe, super fun. Music was good. There was live music. And with Hard Rock and Sea Captain's House and Tupelo Honey, you'll definitely want to call ahead for a reservation with a large group. So after you have dinner on Saturday night, and a lot of times people use Saturday night as the opportunity to go out to eat and go and have fun with their teams. I definitely recommend, I haven't been in a few years, but Legends at Broadway at the Beach is so fun. And I know that tickets maybe are a little pricey, especially for a large group, but so fun. Talking about making memories and really building out teams. Definitely it's worth the time. I enjoy, because you get to see Elvis. So he lives at Legends, if you didn't know. So I highly recommend that you check them out. And I'm not sure what the show is going to be because it's a little bit early yet right now, but their shows are always great at Legends. Also want to do a shout out for Crocodile Rocks. If you're interested in dueling pianos, yes, Crocodile Rocks. Tammy loves her some Crocodile Rocks for sure. And one thing about Crocodile Rocks is they love having teachers up in that place, right? Like oh my goodness, they know when we're in town. And but just remember too, Crocodile Rocks requires they have a $10 cover usually to get into Crocodile Rocks. So you'll have to have cash on you. So a $10 cover to get into Crocodile Rocks, but otherwise a whole lot of fun. And remember that Broadway at the Beach, the Uber ride from the convention center out to Broadway at the Beach is like $5 or $6. It's not far at all. You can definitely afford, to get out there at Broadway at the Beach and have fun with your team and do so safely. All right, well, that brings us actually to the end of our time tonight. And I want to drop into the chat let's see if it'll come. Yes, there we go. The link to our Google form. So remember, filling out the Google form for tonight will get you access to your certificate for attending tonight. So while you're doing that and thinking about, I'm going to go ahead and offer some final thoughts. This has been quite an adventure, I would say. This entire series has been quite an adventure. I've learned new things. I've asked really dumb questions, and I've asked some really intelligent questions, and I've had some experiences with folks that from across the state and across the nation who have really challenged me and my thinking. And really, that's where it's at, guys. It's all about challenging our thinking and growing and becoming better versions of ourselves so that when we go in and we face the children, because Monday always comes and we always get to face the children on Monday, we can do so more effectively, more efficiently, more kindly, with more tenderness, more understanding, and we can meet them where we are to achieve our goals, which is obviously we want to grow their student achievement. We want them to be better than they were yesterday. And we can do that while making sure that they're tended to. All right, well, be safe out there. And I hope that this will motivate you to go check out www.scamle.org to find all the latest and greatest about the conference and to register sooner rather than later. Early bird rates are in effect, right? And so we want to be sure that we get your registrations ASAP so you reserve your spot and you don't miss a thing.